I have to sneeze. Welcome back to Family Tanks. I'm Zosia.
I'm Scott.
And this is Lucius our snake.
And what are we doing today, Zosia?
So we're going to be doing an interview about us.
An interview about us?
Yes. What is your favorite color?
My favorite color? Orange. I'm all about orange. Zosia, how old are you?
I'm 11.
Excellent.
Okay, so what was your first pet?
My first pet, I don't know how exotic it is, but when I was 1 year old, and which was a really, really long time ago, my parents got me a fish, and they asked me what I wanted to name it, and I named my fish. So, the fish was my first pet. So, Zosia, let me ask you, what was your first pet?
I guess we had 3 pets at the same time. We had Carolina and Scott the fish.
You weren't around. Those were goldfish, but they croaked before you before you were born, honey.
Really?
Yes.
I thought they were still alive.
No.
I don't remember.
Afraid not. No.
Okay, then Fiji, our cat.
Fiji the kitty. Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Fiji got old, and Fiji is no longer with us, but we have Ginny and Harry now, right?
Yes, she was a Russian blue cat.
Yes.
Okay, how did you get into pets?
How did I get into pets? Well, actually, growing up, I had an aquarium. My dad was really, really good with fish and fishing in the outdoors and stuff, and he set me up with a 10-gallon freshwater community aquarium, which kind of started all this off. And I had that in my room from the time I was about 3 or 4 years old, and I have had aquariums pretty much since.
Yeah, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, and sometimes I had lots of aquariums at once. How many pets do you now have?
The red one, the red one, the red one, the red one.
Oh, stop, not like that. I mean, but just give a rough idea of how many pets we
I
have.
think there's like 30 shrimp.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 fish right now.
So 14 pets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there are cats, 16 and 17.
Mm-hmm.
Lucius, 18. Our frogs, 20.
Yep, 19 and 20, yep.
I
I think that's it now.
What about the snails?
I don't know if the snails count.
What about Penny?
Penny, we counted that.
Okay. So 20 pets.
So
not
20
just-
pets right now.
But if you if there's like 70 shrimp, take away 1. 19 plus 70 is 89 pets.
89 pets.
Around there.
We might have a problem.
Okay.
But it's only going to get bigger. It's going to get even bigger and better, right?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so shoot me a question there, Zosia.
What is your favorite type of snake?
My favorite type of snake.
Yes.
Let's see. Pet snake that I like one would keep as a pet, or just any snake in the world?
Any snake in the world.
Any snake in the world. I actually like the African bush viper. I think it looks totally rad.
You also like the salamander, don't
Here,
you?
insert picture here of the African bush viper. Or bush viper. I'm a viper. The African bush viper. I think they're absolutely fabulous.
Yes.
But what's your favorite kind of snake?
Well, I like the cobra. I like black mambas and ball pythons.
Cobras, black mambas, and what kind of pythons?
Ball pythons.
Ball pythons.
I like my ball python.
Well, we'll keep the ball python. I'm not sure about the cobra and the black mamba.
Wait.
That might be a little too scary.
Okay.
All right, you're up.
Okay, what is the scariest moment as pet keeper?
A scariest moment as a pet keeper. Well, she asks me all the time. So I, in my teens and 20s, worked at, I think, 5 different pet stores. Mostly I was a saltwater fish specialist, but I ran the fish rooms, and then the people that run the fish rooms also end up taking care of the birds and the reptiles as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to work at one of the stores, and I'd go in the morning and do all the feeding and everything, and I would carry a sulfur-crested cockatoo that was there, you know this story,
Yes.
on my shoulder all the time. His name was Toby. And Toby would ride on my shoulder and I'd do the work and everything else. Well, at the time I was wearing a necklace, and Toby was tugging on my necklace and tugging on my necklace, and I was like, Toby, stop. Toby, stop. Toby, stop. And Toby didn't like that, and he went and latched onto my ear really, really hard. And everybody in the store, we couldn't get Toby to let go. And eventually I had to dunk my head into the great big aquarium full of feeder goldfish so he'd let go. And then Toby got up and shook off and everything else, and they put him back, and then my ear was all red.
You know, I didn't think you were actually going to choose that story.
That was pretty scary, though.
I thought you were going to choose the one where you had the reticulated python.
Oh, do you want me to tell that story too? Okay, so my very first pet store job, they had I want to say it was an 11-foot reticulated python in an enclosure that sat in the front window of the store to draw people in. And the snake was not very friendly. So my very first day on the job, and as a matter of fact, this was my second job I ever had. I was 16 years old. My very first day on the job, they said, take the reticulated python out and put it in a barrel so it could soak for shedding. I was like, okay, who's gonna help me? Nobody wanted to help me. And this was a very, very mean snake. A big, mean snake. And it was more snake that I should have been asked to handle myself. But that was definitely scary.
Yes.
Case in point, it didn't bite me. Yay! And I got the job done, but that was pretty scary. Because that was a big snake, and he was a little grouchy, and I should have had help.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now your turn to ask me a question.
Okay, my turn to ask you a question. So, what is your favorite reptile right now, which is not a snake? You didn't expect that one, did you?
No, it's not on my notes. No. Okay, well, I love snakes.
Don't look at the notes. I want to know your answer.
I like geckos. I think they're cute.
Geckos are super cool. You know the coolest thing about geckos?
What?
They can lick their own eyeballs.
Oh yeah, I saw that on a TV show.
So weird.
That's what I
So
Actually,
weird.
I made it like those wooden cars that was a gecko and it was licking his eye.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Well, I have another question for you.
Yes.
What other kind of pets do you think we should do for our channel here?
I want to do a geckos.
Mm-hmm. Like a desert gecko?
Yes.
Cool.
I also want to do a betta.
You're going to do a betta aquascape. We already have the tank ready for that. We just need to get it done, right?
I also like to do a different type of dart frog, maybe like a thumbnail one.
Oh, the thumbnails, the little guys.
But that's what I'm thinking. I'm getting my note to say cobra, but maybe not
Yeah,
that.
no cobras. Sorry, cut it. Nope. I'm not doing that one.
Actually, it's illegal where we live, so.
Right? What other questions do you have for me?
Okay, what's the funniest moment as a pet?
The funniest moment as a pet keeper.
Rio.
Oh, Rio, yes! So I lived in Wilmington, North Carolina for a while, and I ran a saltwater aquarium fish room down at a store in North Carolina. And they, again, had birds. And this particular store would board birds. So when people would travel, they would bring their boards in like you'd board a dog or a cat. And there was a Catalina macaw, great big macaw. This big, taking my hands out of the frame there. And his name was Rio. And Rio was super cool. Super cool. And he'd walk around and kind of and crawl up onto your shoulder and hang out on your shoulder, and you could set him on this little rail that was in there, and he would just chill and stuff like that. But the coolest thing about Rio is you'd ask him like, hey Rio, who's a pretty bird? And he would go, Rio! With like the vibrato, and he'd go, Rio! But then you could take him and hold him with his feet and swing him. And you go, you ready, Rio? You ready? And then you hold him up, and he would stick his arms out and go, Super Bird! The owner had taught him to go, Super Bird! And Rio was rad. And the cool thing about macaws is Rio's probably still around doing the same thing.
Yeah, they live very long.
That was over 20 years ago, but birds live a really long time. So Rio's probably still chilling, right?
Okay, what question for me?
A question for you. Let's see. So we're going to do a saltwater aquarium in our new animal room that we're finishing our basement now, and that's going to be a new exciting animal room. What kind of saltwater fish do you think you'd like to maybe do?
Well, I'd like to do guppies.
Saltwater? No, we're going to do guppies and something, but what are you thinking for saltwater?
Yellow tang.
Oh, a yellow tang. Okay, well that's something we could look into.
I'm forgetting the name, but you know.
Well, just describe it. What do you think?
The blue fish.
Oh, the hippo tank.
Yes.
You're talking the dory tank.
Yes.
Yes, those are called hippo tanks.
I want to get a hippo tang and a yellow tang.
Yes. Dory is a hippo tang, and Marlin and Nemo are Bracula clownfish. Or Ocellaris clownfish. Good luck winning that argument, but yes, that's what they are.
Yes.
Right? Excellent. Well, let's see here. I'm going to ask you one final question.
Okay.
So, what have you learned about this pet keeping adventure that we've gone into? What do you think has changed about how you will do things as you grow up? That's a big question, right? But I'd like to know. Do you think this changes maybe some of what you'd want to do when you grow up, or what you want to study, or the kind of pets you hope to have in the future?
Yes. I just found out how cobras are kind of dangerous.
Yeah, cobras are definitely kind of dangerous.
I did find out that they can have them as pets in some places.
Yeah, but it's probably not a great idea.
What else? I love pets.
Yes, you do. And you probably want to work with animals one day too, right?
Yes, actually, I like to have work at the zoo. It seems fun.
Yeah, definitely cool.
So you had a pet snake as a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what was its name and about it?
Okay, so
and a story about it.
Sure. So I have kept lots and lots of snakes in the stores. Now, personally at home, prior to Lucius, I actually only had one pet snake that I kept at home. Again, I managed a lot of reptile rooms. You do it all day, and my thing were aquariums. At one point, I had 11 saltwater aquariums running at once.
That's a lot.
Which is a lot, yes. At home, I had 11 saltwater aquariums. But I did have a snake, and it was an eastern ribbon snake named Clarence.
Insert picture here.
Clarence was nice. Clarence was a good buddy. I don't know if I have any pictures of Clarence. If I have one, there'll be an insert picture there. If not, then we're going to have a somebody else snake there. Right?
Someone else's snake. So tell me a story about him.
About Clarence?
Yes.
Oh, well, Clarence was a good buddy, so I actually knew I wanted a pet snake, and I had set up the enclosure for Clarence, and I made a natural bioactive enclosure for Clarence. And my mom and sister decided that they were actually going to get Clarence for me and surprise me as a present, which was fun. And both of them were cool with the idea of the snake being at the house, but they weren't too jazzed about handling the snake. So when they brought Clarence home, my sister had to put on hot mitts from the oven to try to handle Clarence and get him into there because she didn't want to touch him with her hands, which I don't know. You can ask my sister. All was well until one night that Clarence actually managed to get out of his enclosure. And my sister shoved towels under her door and sealed off her room so Clarence couldn't come in. And Clarence was this big. He was very scary.
Yes.
But we did get Clarence back. We put out a warm spotlight and a bowl of water about where we lost him, and in 2 days he came right back, and he was chilling in his bowl.
Yeah, that's actually a
ribbon
good
snakes
video
do.
we could do how to get your snake if it's lost.
Yeah, and he came back and he was fine.
Yeah.
So do we have any other questions, or do you think we're going to wrap it up?
I think we're good.
We're wrapping it up. So thanks for joining us, everybody. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to like and subscribe. And let's run down some of the stuff that we're going to do so people know what to look forward to.
I think we're definitely going to do a betta tank. We actually have the tank already downstairs.
Yep, a naturalistic betta aquascape, right?
We're going to do a saltwater.
Yep, we're doing a saltwater aquarium. We're doing a new live planted aquarium. And actually, what we're doing is we built this big stand, and we're going to do a freshwater and a reef tank that sit right next to each other, like plants and reef tank that sit right next to each other on this one display. It's gonna look awesome.
Okay, and we also are gonna do, I think we're gonna do guppies for the hexagon tank.
Yep, maybe do a colony of guppies and live bearers in the hexagon. And what else are you thinking? Maybe a desert terrarium.
Yes, with some leopard geckos.
And we're probably gonna do 1 or 2 other bioactive tropical vivariums for dart frogs, right?
Yeah.
So we have lots of cool stuff coming up. Make sure to subscribe. That's the best way to support us. It's free to you. Absolutely means the world to us.
Yes.
And Snickerdoodle here and I can keep cranking out some cool stuff, right?
You can continue learning and having fun.
So it's awesome seeing everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye.